And welcome, everybody, to the 2018 Coruscant Invitational for Star Wars X-Wing 2nd Edition.
Yes.
I am Matt Holland,
I'm Brian Kylan.
and we're going to be bringing you the coverage here for the first half of Day 1 here.
Absolutely.
We've got a lot of great competition. This is kind of the first major competitive event for Star Wars X-Wing 2nd Edition.
It is very exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing what
Just
everybody comes out with.
Wide open, meta-wise, wide open for, figuring out what is going to be on top here with this kind of initial wave of 2nd Edition.
Yeah.
What have you been liking to fly here in 2nd Edition so far?
I've been doing the T65s a little bit.
Sure.
I like the S-foils, obviously. Add a little bit more flexibility, versatility to the T65s.
And enjoying the fact that maybe they're going to be a little bit more powerful compared to what they were in 1st Edition there?
Absolutely, yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. And getting Luke in there, experimenting with the Force, doing
Yes.
instinctive aim, supernatural reflexes, really fun. So
Yeah, there's so much different. If you watched our stream here for Worlds in May, and we had a little bit of 2nd Edition, but mostly that 1st Edition, and you're going to see so much new here. The Force, the way the turrets work now,
Absolutely, yep.
really emphasizing your piloting skills. The compressed, pilot skill is now initiative, and it's compressed down to just 6 values instead of 10, or excuse me, 9, I guess.
Yeah.
So much that is quality of life changes too, but there's so many things that are going to fundamentally alter the way that you're flying. And I am super excited to see what that means for the game.
True. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing if anybody can make good use of. I'm sure we've got a lot of really good players here today. So
We do.
See if anybody can do the bullseye arc.
Yeah,
See what they can do with the upgrades that use that.
I know. I was looking through some lists. I saw some proton torpedoes. A lot of places now, which we've never seen in competitive X-Wing really. Proton rockets showing up. Those are going to be keying off the bullseye arc. You got some cannons that do that. Upgrades like Predator, Crack Shot, all relying on that bullseye arc. So that's going to make things very important for flying. And we've even seen some stuff where people are discussing what angle do you start off at with your ships. And instead of doing the 90 degrees, 45 degrees, they're going just a little bit off of that because the thinking is it'll make it easier to get bullseye arcs on people.
Okay.
But now everything's just a little skewed from what you're used to. It's going to be kind of cool to see what happens with that.
Yeah, I'm sure some of these players out here are going to come up with some real interesting things. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they have.
Yeah, let's talk about the 3 factions now. So no Resistance or First Order yet. That's going to be coming to 2nd Edition later. What are we thinking we're going to see for Scum? Any archetypes or anything that you really thought will be powerful?
I've always been a big IG-88 guy. I hope we see...
As we saw yesterday when we
exactly,
played?
Yep. I hope we see some creative use of IG-88. Now you can fit in, like I tried yesterday, you can fit in a 3rd ship
Sure.
with IG-88D on it.
Yeah, get some more ability sharing there.
Yeah, really stack those abilities. So maybe we'll see something real interesting with that. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I'm excited to see the Fire Spray. I mean, Fire Spray was my first love in 1st Edition, playing 3 of them. And with the changes, the new pilot abilities, I think they have a lot of space to work with. What about Rebels? Rebels, like you said, Luke.
Rebels, the T65 is pretty good. The Y-Wing, I think, has a lot of possibilities now with gunners and
it's got
turrets.
Some really good tools. That and I am hopeful that we see a nice game with the HWK-290, the Hawk. Because now with the multi-crow title giving you 3 dice, you've got the turret. That is just a whole new ship. And I'm a player who loved the original Hawk.
Sure.
So seeing it be more viable on the table would just be fantastic.
Absolutely. And I was playing with the Hawk yesterday, and I feel like I didn't even scratch the surface. Like, I forgot. I was like, oh, man, this has a jam action on it now. It's red, but, you can really...
Just stuff like that, like the jam, the coordinate, the reinforce that we only started to see trickle into non-epic 1st Edition at the very end. Those are much more widespread and are going to figure in more lists now than they ever did before.
Sure.
So that's going to be cool to see as well.
Yep.
And then Imperials.
Imperials have a lot of stuff.
The Swarm is going to take the day, or is there going to be some other...
I feel like we're going to see some Swarms.
Sure.
That's just classic Imperials. I'd like to see a lot with Vader, just because I haven't played Vader in 2nd Edition yet, but he just seems like a lot of fun.
Beast. I did see a Darth Vader Rexer Breath 2-ship list.
Really?
In that pile when I was looking through them earlier.
Okay.
So that does exist. We might see it. I did see some Swarms. I saw the Inferno Squadron mini swarm. I think that's, 5 or 6 ties, featuring all the named Inferno Squadron pilots. A lot of TIE Punishers and Bombers, too.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah, TIE Bombers are real interesting right now.
Yeah.
So you can get a lot going on with some rockets and bombs and devices and all kinds of stuff with those guys. So.
Yeah, there's a huge toolbox, and then the Punisher especially can use – Punishers and Bombers can use some of those ordnance that you can't run on the things that only have, single slots. So ordnance just showing up other than those Alpha Strike lists we started to see towards the end of first edition with the Jump Masters, the Houndstooth, those kind of lists. Never were missiles, torpedoes never were a huge part of a lot of the competitive X-Wing meta for most of its time around. So I'm excited to see those come back into their own. The multiple uses.
Yeah, it's subtle.
Not spending your target locks.
Sure, yeah, it's subtle changes. Yeah, like you're bringing up with the target locks with the ordnance. But I think it's going to be, those subtle differences are going to make a huge difference overall in the meta. You don't have to spend your target locks to fire a lot of ordnance now. You have multiple uses, so you can, see people.
It's not all or nothing.
Exactly.
It doesn't feel so bad when you whiff on your big shot.
Yep, you can line up an attack and, just fire away and know that you have, at least 1 or 2 more shots left with that.
So Coruscant Invitational. We should probably touch a little bit on what exactly that means. So unlike Worlds, unlike, almost any other organized play event where, anyone is able to just show up, or you should say register online and then show up with a ticket, this is not that way.
This is not, no.
Everybody here earned their seat at a System Open Series or some other event, which makes this really a better representation of the absolute cream of the crop. You don't have that kind of, Cinderella story where the player who just showed up can make it all the way, because everybody here had to fight for that spot and qualified. So we got players from all over the world, and they're going to be facing off over 2 days here to give us our Coruscant Invitational champion.
Exactly, and we're gonna see some high-level X-Wing here this weekend.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
Even if it is second edition, things have changed. Most of these guys and gals have played a huge amount of X-Wing, so their basic maneuvering skills, that kind of stuff, is just top notch. Yeah. And so I don't think we'll see a lot of the mistakes in terms of that. But as we found playing some second edition recently here, there's a lot of things to adjust to coming from first edition. Dials have changed, action bars have changed, timing and different abilities in that have changed. And when you've played hundreds of games of first edition, that's a big U-turn to pull off.
It is, and some of those small differences, linked actions.
Yep.
We'll see if anybody can really come in here and make good use of linked actions, and I think we're going to see some nice reverberations in X-Wing after this tournament here.
It's always interesting to see how the larger competitive world kind of adjusts after a big event like this. You see something win, like Triple Jump Masters, or the TIE Swarm, or the Bigs, 2B Wings, and it must have been a rookie that Paul used his first Worlds. Those things just became so popular afterwards. And I suspect we'll see something similar here, at least the top lists.
Absolutely, yeah. I think I don't think there's anything that's super dominant right now. I mean, it's been out for less than a month.
Yep. But there's been a couple tournaments, but nothing huge. So it's hard to draw really relevant meta conclusions from that really small sample size.
You can't be like, oh, this is what everybody's going to be flying from now on.
But going forward from this, we're going to have big event at PAX Unplugged for the System Open Series, and then into the events in Europe and the rest of the world through next year. We're going to kind of get that same body of tournament meta that we had for first edition, plus more expansions and product on the horizon, right?
Yes, yeah, we've got the Resistance and First Order coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Which is very
T-70s,
exciting.
the RZ.
The RZ-2 A-Wing.
Yeah.
Yep, got to see that in The Last Jedi briefly.
Yep.
So.
And then we also, a little bit further down the line, I think, we've got Clone Wars.
We do. We have Clone Wars.
Now that I'm excited for. Just the design space of things like the droid fighters and the Jedi starfighters, how those are going to fit in and widen the pool of available options. Cannot wait.
Yes. Yeah, just with the Jedi Starfighter, you know, you're probably going to see a lot of Jedi pilots in there.
Oh, yeah.
And now that we have the Force in the
tiny,
game,
tiny
it is
and
really
agile.
tiny, yes. So, yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, definitely new directions that are going to take X-Wing in a lot of exciting places that, you know, first edition, like
didn't quite get around to. Yeah. Of course, Scum's also going to get their own TIE fighter now with the Mining Guild TIE.
Mm-hmm. Which just ignores obstacles, which
Yep.
is great.
Now we just need to add a TIE fighter to Resistance, and every faction will have their own.
Mm-hmm.
Be perfect. You can use your TIE fighters any list you'd like.
Exactly, yeah. Just throw in ties. Have a TIE Swarm, Resistance TIE Swarm if you want. Who knows?
I just love when you're punching out your conversion kit, how many various TIE fighter dials you end up with, because, oh my gosh. Love me some TIE fighters, but I mean, are they still going to be... They were not... I would not say the Swarm was king or anything like king towards the end of first edition, but there was a large part of the game where it was a serious contender.
It stayed around for a long time, and it was still very viable.
And you still, in second edition, you still got Hellrunner.
You still have Hellrunner. You have all the Inferno Squad pilots now, which, I mean, I think if you even pair a few of them up with Vader, that's a real interesting list.
You got a lot of options. Looks like we do have players here. We should get the lists in just a second. And we will start to see. So remember, for this tournament, there was a sort of a special rule. So regardless of your faction, you did need to bring a particular upgrade.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
In your list. So for Scum, that was the Boba Fett crew.
Okay, which I really like.
Yeah, so what is you want to talk about what he does?
So Boba Fett, instead of starting in the normal setup area, Boba, the crew card, the crew card you set up on an asteroid or an obstacle, I believe.
Yes. The Rebels, it is Leia.
Okay.
Yeah, Boba Fett's you set up at range 0, so touching an obstacle beyond range 3 of any ship, so you can get some interesting deployment. Leia then is let's just about Ruthless is the Imperial one. Ruthless is the one where you do a damage to another ship within range 1.
Yep, very Imperial.
And that does apply to your own ships if that's the only option, so it can be a little bit dangerous. And then Leia, of course, she has basically a one-time use, and she will reduce the difficulty of all your ship's red maneuvers for that turn. So that big round where you K-turn everybody or you do something like that, she can just make that a white and then let you come right back into the fight with your actions, hitting pretty hard.
She does recover a charge every round, though, so you can use that. It's going to be a few rounds until you can use it again. But that is a very nice ability to have, especially if you really want to mess with the other person, just throw something unexpected in there, not gain that stress. Use Leia, and there you go. All right, looks like we're going to get some Lando's Millennium Falcon in here, which is very interesting.
The chat reminding me, I'm thinking of the old Ruthless. I apologize. So the new Ruthless is when you perform an attack, you may choose another friendly ship at range 0 to 1 of the defender. If you do, that ship suffers a damage, and you may change one of your die results to a damage. So, like I said, a lot of things have changed.
Yes.
I played a heck of a lot more first edition than second edition. So it is just a little bit different there. It's going to improve your dice at the cost of the health of your friendly ships. So we do have our lists. We've got, going to say it's Filip Vukic. He is running that Inferno Squadron Swarm. So Saint Marana, Iden Versio, Hellrunner, Academy, Gideon Hask, and Del Miko. And the challenger here.
We've got Jacob Eilders going with a Scum list. So we've got Captain Nim with the H6 bomber, which I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do with that. Going to get some proton bombs.
It's a lot of
in
upgrades
there.
on that Captain Nim.
Yep. Get some proton bombs. We have some seismic charges. Some ablative plating should help him there.
He's got
very much.
Havoc title, dorsal turret, genius, and the trajectory simulator. You can throw those bombs out ahead of him.
We've got Palob Goldaldi and the HWK 290. Threw the Moldy Crow title on there to get that primary. That's going to be elusive. And he's got L337 on there.
Nice.
So he's going to make all of I'm sorry. If he doesn't have any shields, some of his maneuvers are going to be less difficult, which is very nice. And then finally going with the Lando's Millennium Falcon, flown by none other than Han Solo.
The L337 crew, that is, while you defend, you may flip this card. If you do, the attacker must re-roll all their attack dice.
Oh, and then on the other side.
85 players total.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, yeah, Han Solo, 000, Lando's Falcon title.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got kind of a mini swarm here. You know, it's got 6 ties with Howl Runner, so that's got a lot of potential to do damage to something, 1 agility or even 2 agility, like all of Jacob's list here.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup. We're going to have, obviously, with the Lando's Millennium Falcon, we're gonna see those turret arcs.
Yes.
Which is going to be real interesting.
People who are asking what time the first game is, it's going to be very, very shortly here. They are currently setting up on that table, so not going to be too many here. We've got, looks like Jacob's going to be on the right when this comes up, and Filip on the left. But we do have a pretty slick new overlay we're going to be using that shows health of ships, actually. So that's a new thing for the FFG stream. We've got that figured out, we think. So that should make the game state a little bit easier for everybody to track.
Yeah, I'm going to be tracking it, showing everybody, be able to keep up with shields and everything in real time, which is very nice.
That's the thing that a lot of people have asked for. And we went ahead and got that set up.
Ironically enough, this Han Solo piloted ship is going to have Boba Fett as a crew member.
Well, that's going to give him the ability to throw that Han out there and be very aggressive with him off the bat, which is pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, no, that'll be real interesting, especially against those TIE fighters. Yeah, just be able to get set up early on, maybe disrupt some of the swarm there.
Yeah, the swarm wants to stay within range 1 of Howl Runner. And if you can get in there and really start to cause them issues when you're trying to fly in that formation, it can go bad really quickly.
Yeah.
Howl Runner is still the same old ability, but let's go through the other guys. Sin, Gideon, Iden, and Del. So Del Miko, when a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 defends against a damaged attacker, the defender may re-roll 1 defense die. So a sort of a defensive Howl Runner, but only when the guy shooting is hurt. A lot of these Inferno Squadron guys and gals seem to key off of that damage thing, like Gideon Hask. When you perform an attack against a damaged defender, you roll 1 additional attack die.
They definitely like to have damage on the opponent.
Get the blood in the water kind of thing.
Yep, get that, and then really finish them off and keep themselves going while their opponents are damaged as well. So.
Certainly. Saint Miranda, she is running marksmanship, so if they've got a target in the bullseye arc, they can change a hit to a crit. If Saint's got a crit, they can just spend that crit to deal a damage. So nice little ability there. And then, of course, Iden has the ability to spend a charge to just cancel damage dealt to a friendly TIE fighter.
Very nice. Yep. That
kind of gives you an extra tie on the table.
Yep. I assume Iden's going to stay pretty close to Howl Runner.
Yes.
It's
the same reason people ran Draw Their Fire with a Black Squadron right there. Just pull any nasty crits away if they were able to. And then, you've got a very loaded up Captain Nim and a Han Solo. And then you've also got Polib. You got Nim is 75 points and Han is 72. So it's a lot of points in those 2 ships there. Remember, 2nd edition also has half points for every ship.
That's right. It's something I always forget about.
It can make a big difference in a competitive event like this. Because while, MOV is great, winning is your best tiebreaker.
Exactly.
You're getting all set up here. Looks like Filip brought a couple of very, very small asteroids. Not a huge surprise, running a TIE Swarm. And Jacob has got some of the larger options. Kind of cool to see a Millennium Falcon with scum, too.
Yes.
That's not something we used to see a lot. Ever.
Yeah. No escape craft on there, though.
No.
But, I mean, it's already worth 72 points, so.
Yes. Yeah, and he's right at 200 points before the free Boba Fett, so he spent everything there.
see where Han starts, which obstacle he starts on.
Filip is out of Poland, and Jacob is from all the way down in Dubuque, Iowa, just a couple hours south of us.
Wow, yeah.
But so Filip definitely had quite a journey to get here.
Yeah, players from all over, best X-Wing players from all over the world here.
How many points do you have?
So, let's see what they can do.
Well, I do love Worlds for the fact that anybody can register and come. It is cool, having everybody here have had to qualify.
So we can take the initiative.
You want me to have initiative?
Yep.
And they're going to be starting off, or time will be starting here just a second. It looks like Jacob's got initiative here. Must have been given it to him by Filip because Filip is at 199.
Yep.
You're a little offline with the tournament. We're going to have you on our own round, and I'm going to start you after asteroids are placed. Okay?
So we're going to have from Jacob, so Captain Nim, dropping some devices all over the board here. From that HWK, he's going to want to try and get in there with his firing arc and try and get some of those green tokens.
Really great against the TIE Fighter. Take their evade, take their focus.
Yep. Yeah, if we can really get those evades away from those TIE Fighters, they're a lot more vulnerable. So,
as far as the ties, there is Crackshot on Iden and Dell, Swarm Tactics on Howlrunner, and Marksmanship on Sane. That's the only upgrades. So pretty upgrade light, but you've got 6 ships there. They're going to start off, and I'm thinking in a corner here in a tight formation because the middle is already a little bit choked up with rocks. That lets Jacob respond with Vader, or excuse me, Han, just about, just outside of range and with a guaranteed shot first turn. He can even shoot and then kind of kite away on subsequent turns if you'd like to. Stay at range 3, really use his stretch his agility dice as far as he can.
Looks like, yeah, he is setting up. He got his first TIE Fighter down in the corner here. I assume most of the other ones are going to go right around that same area.
Yeah, so that's the Academy, and then you're going to see Polib and then the rest of the ties. Actually, Nim will go down before Howlrunner, but spoiler alert, Howlrunner is going to go right in the middle of that formation.
Yeah, absolutely,
so
yep.
Not a big surprise there.
Swarm Tactics on Howlrunner, don't discount that. That's going to be real useful for him.
It'll help prevent the Academy from just getting vaporized before it ever gets a chance to shoot.
The marksmanship, so we are going to see the bullseye arc. And I mean, what better ship than a TIE Fighter to try and use that bullseye arc? They're pretty maneuverable, so you should be able to...
Barrel roll, give you the opportunity to correct that bullseye arc a little bit if you need to. Still benefit from the reroll that Howlrunner grants.
Yep.
Does kind of look like Filip has the Inferno Squadron pilots painted red.
Yep. Very nice paint
job. And
job.
then I see an Imperial Cog on one of those wings too. I like the custom work.
Oh yeah.
The reason I got into X-Wing, one of the reasons was because I didn't need to paint anything.
Yes.
But yeah, I do love seeing custom paint jobs in some of these ships because some of them are really, really amazing.
Yeah, me too. I'm not good at painting things. It's not my forte. Some of the players out here always enjoy getting on forums and everything and seeing what they can do in terms of paint jobs. There's a lot of creativity. Got Nim.
So Han. So he's going to deploy there, and then at the end of setup, he can deploy somewhere else if he'd like. But it looks like they're just going to go to dial, so Han not going to use Boba's ability.
Yeah.
It may be a case where he's not counting on Boba's ability for the list. He just had to bring him as part of the rules there. And if so, that is just fine. You have to kind of give up that seat in your ship. So he does have trick shot. So with Han's ability and trick shot, if you're shooting through an obstacle, he's going to be rolling 4 dice.
Yeah, he's gonna get some stuff out there, and I
That
think
is
that
nasty.
that's probably what he wants to set up here. We do have some asteroids right there along the side. Maybe Han can set up some early shots through some asteroids. I don't necessarily know. Yeah, with Boba, he didn't really have a great option for an obstacle to start on. So
I'm also a little bit surprised by how small all the rocks that Jacob brought were, given that he has Trick Shot and Han in that list. I would think the large ones would make that a little bit easier to set up. So big, fast opening here from Filip. I mean, I think he would love to get, range 1 or range 2 on that Skurg and just burn it down.
Absolutely, yeah. If you can get some fire on that thing, less chance it has to drop those bombs, drop those devices.
Nim, 10 hit points. And unless it's changed, 1 agility?
I believe so. I think that. Yep, 1 agility.
Yep.
Does have that recurring charge where he can spend it to prevent a bomb or mine from detonating. So
the mines could be, and bombs could be very good against the Swarm here. If he can get a proton bomb, or a really good detonation of a seismic charge, that could be a huge pain in the butt for Filip. Now, with Nim's ability, he can also just kind of lay it and then leave it there as a trap or a wide area denial thing against the TIE fighters.
Yeah, that's gonna. Nim's ability is gonna cause some headaches, I think, for these TIE fighters for sure. Never quite sure when it's gonna go off. I mean, I guess you have to spend that charge. So
yeah, you have to spend the charge each turn, but as long as you don't need to stop 2 bombs from going off, that's no big deal.
Yeah. Real interesting matchup here.
If he throws it on any one of these far asteroids, it's going to be real dangerous to K-turn that swarm if it comes to that. And I suspect it's going to, unless they're going to cut in here towards the Falcon.
Yeah.
Swarm tactic on Academy Pilot.
Must be the Academy.
I can in 0-1 I can give my initiative to another ship. Okay. So he's
also going over swarm tactics right now.
Yep. So swarm tactics on the Academy from Howlrunner. Han's still going to get the first shot. It's not going to be obstructed, so just the 2 dice.
Yep, 2 dice on that turret.
He's not close enough for 000.
Yep. I do really enjoy 000 BT1 in 2nd edition now. You can use them in a scum list or any list containing Darth Vader.
So I think Han's arc is currently side to side. So no actual shot because in arc he's out of range.
Oh, okay. So no shot from Han here.
Howlrunner.
So Howlrunner gets a hit. Reroll. Nothing.
That was the Academy shooting.
Oh,
Howlrunner's ability.
I'm sorry.
Did
Thank
nothing.
you. Yep.
So 1 hit there.
Hit.
Yep.
We're going to get an extra die here from Nim.
Ooh, no paint at all.
Yep. So we're going to peel one of those shields off.
Nim is going to get to shoot back, but the Hawk and Han just going to be taking fire this time.
That's all.
Yeah,
That's
it.
all we have. All right, so.
Could have gone a lot worse.
Yep. Now, here's going to be the real interesting round. What do you think? What do you think these TIE fighters are going to do?
So I don't think there's a good way for Nim to avoid getting shot up pretty bad here. Let's just take a look at dials, but unless the Skurg dial has changed massively,
I don't think it has.
he has pretty limited jobs. I mean, maybe he's going to go in, drop the bomb, and just accept that he's going to kind of take it on the chin, but that seems risky to me.
It does. Could.
Han's also not going to get an obstructed shot this turn.
No.
And that Hawk is very slow to try and get into range.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm the TIE Fighters, I'd go 2 straight, maybe bank some of them in.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I'm going after Nim right here. Just try and get as much off of him. He already has 1 shield down, but he's still got 6 hull to peel off.
He does also have Trajectory Simulator, so he can
Yes.
chuck a Proton Bomb right into the middle of that swarm.
Yes.
Hey, there we go.
Yep, there it is.
I got there.
Yep.
Proton?
It's a big obstacle here.
Well, yeah, that would alter my planning for the swarm, but either Filip didn't think of it, or like me, the morning is nice and early, and he just flew in from Poland, so this could hurt quite a bit.
Yep, these TIE
And
fighters are.
that is a Proton. I can't really tell. I think that's got to be a Proton
I
Bomb.
believe he said it's a proton bomb.
Yeah. And there's no reason to shoot a seismic out there.
Yep.
If anybody's just tuning in, this is the 2018 Coruscant Invitational. So this is the kind of culmination of the System Open Series. Last year was held at the Star Wars Celebration in Orlando. Year before that, Celebration in London. But since there is no celebration this year, we are holding it in beautiful, freezing cold Roseville, Minnesota.
It's early October, but already starting to get a little chilly out there.
So Polyp there, just moving in and focusing.
Using the Moldy Crow. He's going to be able to retain those 2 focus tokens.
Yes.
Focus.
They took our lists away.
Focus.
So assuming these TIE Fighters don't eat a bunch of direct hits, which I guess still won't kill them, this is going to be a painful turn for Captain Nim.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see some pretty heavy damage here, or potentially some pretty heavy damage on both sides. Got that proton bomb, and then Nim is right in the line of fire of a bunch of TIE fighters.
Polyp has L337.
Nim is just inching forward there.
Yeah, L337 on the back is if you're not shielded, you decrease the difficulty of your bank maneuvers.
Yep.
So that's kind of handy.
Mm-hmm. Especially handy on the Hawk later on. A lot of banks on there. Give it a little bit more ability to clear some stress when it doesn't have any shields.
What did I miss that gave the second focus? Oh, it was leftover from the first turn.
Yes.
Yeah. Never mind. All right, Han just going to go slow. He's not going to, there really was no way to set up an obstructed shot there anyways. Although imagine hitting at range 1 through a rock. That's 5 dice.
That's a lot of dice, yeah. That's a dream scenario right there. With
He does have arc this time at least.
He does have arc, yep, so he's definitely going to take his pick of those TIE fighters right there.
It's going to be one thing that's going to be take some adjustment here. Was we cannot typically see the arc on that main screen. So if you look on our other angle that you guys cannot see, it is still side to side. Yeah, Nim is going to have a real bad turn because Han, best case, he can't kill a TIE fighter because of Aiden's ability. Even if he nukes one right off the table, it's not going to matter. He'll have to focus both Nim and Han on one TIE to have a prayer of taking it off the table.
A couple of TIEs. They could maybe shoot at Han, but why would they?
I mean, if Nim's dead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if Nim doesn't make it that long, but.
Range 1 for the front 3, range 2 it looks like for the back 3.
Yeah, you just want to lay into Nim here. Don't let him drop any more bombs.
Oh, here comes the proton bombs. So direct hit on Howlrunner, that's pretty good.
Ooh.
Blinded pilot on the second TIE there. wounded pilot on the Academy, so it's when you take an action, you have a chance to get stress. This could be really, really helpful. Another direct hit.
Wow.
Blinded Pilot, not nearly as punishing as it was in first edition, where you can still attack, you just have very limited options to modify your dice.
Got a damaged engine.
A lot of crits here,
Yeah,
folks.
a lot of crits being rolled out by
it's
this
a full
bomb.
value proton bomb.
Yeah, getting the money's worth out of that proton.
And
bomb.
loose stabilizers. After you execute a non-straight maneuver, you have, is it a chance?
Okay.
Yeah, you'll suffer damage after you do a non-straight and just an action to flip it over.
Okay.
Yeah, so now
I think he could stay for now.
Aiden can still keep a ship alive if it's going to die. The Hawk has no shot, so maybe he loses one TIE fighter here.
Maybe.
If he trades one TIE fighter for Nim, Han is now going to still be behind him and just plugging away, and these TIEs are all within one attack of dead. This is Han's attack here. I think the smart move is to try and strip the focus tokens from the range 1 guys. At least cut down on their dice modification.
Yeah, maybe save Nim here a little bit.
I can't, when I can blind pilot, I can't rule it.
Just talking with the judge here, straightening out
Cannot only spend focus. I can rule
what the criticals entail. I think specifically the blinded pilot.
Yep.
So like I said, a lot of these guys have played a ton of first edition, and since these things are just a little different, you want to be sure. So Han's got what, just range 2 across the board?
I think so.
Unless he wants to try and shoot one in the far corner for some reason. Oh, he's checking for Hal Runner.
Yep.
I gotta think. Try and strip the focus tokens. You're not gonna kill Hal Runner with
Yeah.
with Aiden most likely.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that. Yeah, Aiden's just gonna have Aiden use her charge. That's what's gonna happen with that.
Nim can still pick up the spare there and get the kill, even if Han
True.
is stopped by Aiden. But I don't see Nim coming out of this.
Yeah.
But with an unhurt Falcon, I think that Jacob is still looking real good after that bomb. God forbid Nim doesn't die. Those TIEs are really going to be hurting from the next bomb. So spins the target lock. Looks like he is shooting Hal Runner.
2 hits there.
Spend the focus, save Aiden's ability.
There
you go.
Avoid some damage on Howl Runner there. That's nice.
Now Nim definitely can't kill Hal.
Yep.
So you don't bother? You shoot one of the range 1 guys?
I think so. It seems like the best play to me, but these guys are also better X-Wing players than I am. So.
Range 2 on Hall Runner.
Aiden's ability, is that just suffer damage, not after they are attacked?
So after they would suffer damage.
Would suffer 1 or more damage, so you could Aiden the bomb damage, although you'd have to do it before you see the crit.
Exactly. Yeah.
So he had no way of knowing it's going to be a direct hit. So probably thought maybe he'd prevent 2 damage with Aiden's ability instead of 1. Oh man!
Wow, Howl Runner rolling those evades.
So Aiden's ability still unused. 5 focuses left to shoot back.
Yep. Ooh, I don't even have to spend one there.
And Nim tokenless.
2 more shields off of Nim.
Academy pilot. He's PF5.
Oh, Han lost a shield first round, not Nim.
Oh, yep.
Forerunner.
Thank you.
Oof. 3 hits out of the Academy.
Academy pilot.
It should be range 1, right? Can we check?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's range 1. right?
Checking, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Never hurts to be sure at this level.
It's PF5 because phone tactics.
And now that's a first damage on him, which means that's going to buff
All of the,
not all.
not all of them, but a
which
couple
one
of the
triggers?
Inferno Squadron pilots.
Gideon Hask.
Gideon Hask, yep.
Range 1, you have cards, so 4 dice.
Oof.
I don't know if that one's range one. Let's check.
Yeah, you have to check that he's a little bit more offset. I think he's got it, but
Looks pretty close, but
Yeah, range 2, sorry.
okay.
so still 3 dice.
Range
Yep. 3 dice from a TIE fighter, though. Still pretty good.
2.
Oof.
Forerunner.
Yep. Wow.
3 hits.
Yeah. Cancel one of those.
And him down to 3 hull with still, I believe, 3 TIE fighters left to
Looks
shoot.
like 3 TIE fighters left.
Only 1 at range 1 and 2 at range 2, so that's a total of 7 dice coming in. Can reroll 3 if needed. He should die here.
Forerunner.
Got
Especially with the crit.
Hell Runner reroll. Focus.
Ties have not
suspend
missed
it.
a shot.
These ties are very accurate right now.
Hell Runner doing work.
Yep.
That drops him to dead.
I think that's it for Nim, right? Let me see him.
Yeah, should be.
Okay.
Unless I can't count.
Version.
Nim should be removed now. This is fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they were just making sure because now with second edition, you don't remove the ship till
That's
the
right.
end of that that pilot skill.
That is one of the rules that I always forget about in second edition.
Machinator asking which tie was blinded. I believe it's the third one up.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure
can't
which
tell, or
one
excuse me,
that
the fourth
is.
one up.
Yeah.
Third from the top.
Forerunner.
Oh, you're asking because of the Hellrunner reroll.
A couple more shields off of Han there.
And
Han still can pop a TIE fighter around. He's going to need the Palib to get in there and do some.
Yeah, Palib
Some
needs to get
lifting.
down there, yeah.
That's always. I love the Hawk, but it's so slow.
Mm-hmm.
And with your well, first edition so often being restricted to a range 2 turret unless you had a twin laser, that slowness is even magnified.
Yes. Does he have a shot here? Ooh, looks like just barely from range 3.
Yeah, I'd get the
Yeah, get the laser
get a third
in
party
there,
over
yeah.
there too.
Oh, so close.
can you check if he is in arc?
So if you're
Or
gonna
you are
try and
referring
kill a
this
TIE
one or
fighter,
this one?
Aiden can use her
Okay.
ability on herself, so it doesn't
That's
matter
true.
if you shoot her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need-
And I think that's the one.
Still looking to see if Palib's has a shot.
Those two have
Those two have one.
lucky.
He's got that turret arc off to the side right now. Do you think for the next few rounds here, he's going to try and get that Hawk in behind the TIE fighters, maybe get some of those focuses away from him?
The only risk is this turn here, the TIEs can all turn in,
That's
hard
true,
one, and
yeah.
then the Hawk just gets lit up.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty decent shot there. So one crit will go through, and
Yep.
he was shooting at the academy.
I think so.
Just double checking his crits. Well, the one TIE can't turn without taking a damage
It's true.
from the crit it has.
Yes.
Another TIE will potentially take stress when it takes an action.
There goes the Iden. charge, so that's off the table now. Maintaining all 6 TIE fighters. Yeah, might have to break
Somebody asking if
formation.
you can re-roll a defense die because of Del Miko, but Del, you have to have a damage card
Yes.
on the ship that is shooting, to my knowledge.
Yep. That
So yeah, that will not work.
does not trigger yet.
So yeah, I think if I'm Han, I hard turn to the left, do a larger turn. He's got the hard 3, so hard 3, because if they K-turn to shoot you, they don't have their focuses. If they turn in, they probably won't have a shot. At least the front ones won't have a shot on you. And if I am the Palab Gadali, I just turn right, kind of bank right here behind that rock.
Yeah, just tuck in
and
behind
keep
the
shooting
rock.
him. 'Cause it's too risky. If you go straight in and they turn at you, now you're going to lose your hawk in one turn.
I think
But we'll see if Jacob agrees with me. If I'm the Swarm, I think hard ones.
yeah, just turn in, try and get see if you can get any shots lined up. On,
Yeah, unfortunately,
on
your
Apollo.
Academy is not in a position to hard one and then roll to block the Falcon because he's just a little bit too far forward there. But the Hawk should be a nice appetizer.
Yes.
Double checking everything, especially when you're flying a Swarm, you need to be very, very on the ball for the entire event. It can be exhausting.
Something I'm terrified of. I have always wanted to try and do a TIE Swarm, and I was like, no, I can't do this. I could probably do it well for maybe a turn or two. As soon as we get like an asteroid or anything in the way, that Swarm is going bye-bye, breaking formation. You're going to have a bunch of TIE fighters on their own. It's not going to be pretty. Do have a lot of damage spread around on these ties. Aiden's ability is off the table.
Yeah, I expect this turn he's going to start losing those TIE fighters.
TIE
but
fighters are gonna
yeah, there we go, hard one. Falcon's still got 9 health, 1 agility, and an unhurt Hawk. It's still a lot. He can a lot of damage potential with those TIE fighters.
No straight maneuver. And I will flip.
He's going to use the action to flip that over, I believe.
So I believe that was the loose stabilizer. He turned, took a damage from it, and then with his action flipped it over, so he won't have to worry about it next turn.
Yep. All right, here goes Palab. Get real close to that. Ooh, squeezed it in there, I think.
I did not see the asteroid move. I think he's okay.
Yep.
Cut it in close, though.
Yep. Still got the turret arc off to the side.
Yeah, I think he's got to spend his action to flip it around. He still has a focus from last turn, though, so not the end of the world.
Yep.
And he's very likely going to steal one from a TIE fighter if they decide to focus.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of a real dangerous weapon, that Palab's ability, especially against especially against these ties, which really, you got Howl Runner and you got the focus tokens. Obviously, you can only take one, but you know, one of those focus tokens can make the difference.
People who are asking, Palab does have Moldy Crow title. He's also got Elusive and the L337 crew. So that does give him a little bit more survivability between Elusive and L337, but I don't want to test that out against a TIE Swarm at range 1, even range 2. And I don't see you doing a lot of red maneuvers to recharge that elusive charge.
Yeah,
you only got the 3 turn and the stop, and you don't want to stop in front of those ties?
No.
I will flip, wounded pilot. Last action. Same banana.
Yep, sorry, chat. I'm thinking of my old Hawk and old Moldy Crow, so he does have a front arc. He doesn't need to turn it. So he's got the front arc 3.
Oh, yep, I'm sorry as well. Yep, I was playing Hawk yesterday, and I did not have Moldy Crow, so I had to have it in my turret arc.
Yeah, there we go.
Damage engine, so stress.
Yeah, and in this case, I would not move the turret, because then now you're going to just turn to the right and be able to continue using your turret as you fly by that swarm.
You know, husk.
That's the thing I struggle with the most still with 2nd edition, is just remembering all the things that are similar,
Yes.
but just a little different, or the abilities that now have a different name or like have almost flip-flopped something else. There's a ton of that, and I'm so ingrained to 1st edition.
Yeah. That 3-die primary with the Moldy Crow title, very nice.
Gone are the days of your Hawk killing a Sunterfell with 1 die at range 3. Just that golden BB. So a flipping blinded pilot on the top tie there. What do you think Han's going to do? Think the hard 3?
I think he's going for the hard 3.
Now the only danger, hard 3 puts you in a tough spot when they just all hard 1 again to go after you.
I see.
So I could also see just
maybe
going straight.
Yeah, trying to set up that obstructed shot, maybe.
Not going to get it this turn, but.
Oh, okay. Soft 3. All right.
Nice.
Yeah, real tight there, but.
Looks like he just squeaks in. Now, my question, I don't think he can turn to the right next turn. I think he has to go straight or continue hooking around. Although a hard 3 now would put him kind of off to the side, even if those ties do turn after him. So pretty good.
Yeah.
And he's got a range 1 shot with Han. Didn't have to rotate his arc.
Definitely going to try and take out at least one of those ties this round. Probably get a good chance at 2.
Yeah, Aiden's ability is off, so Howlrunner is now very, very killable. She's got 2 damage on her already.
Yep, now see if we can push 1 more through here.
I think had he barrel rolled the front left tie, he would have blocked Han. But
I think, was that one of them he had to spend an action
I think
to
he
flip
spent
that
the
crit?
action to flip one of the crits.
Yep.
So, and I don't know that the barrel roll does anything but make your maneuvering harder as you complete this turn, other than potentially blocking Han. So if he didn't see the 3 bank or 3 turn, probably did not think it was worth it. So Han's got a target lock.
Swarm tactics.
Use the swarm
Academy
tactic
pilot?
on the Academy pilot. Yep.
000 here. Stress or calculate.
Go ahead and take the stress.
Okay,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
already got another stress tie in that formation, so I don't know that stressing 1 is that big of a deal.
1.
Yep.
There you go, Howlrunner. 3 dice.
Range 1. Lando shuttle. Orlando's Falcon. 4.
This might be all for Howlrunner here. Let's see. Ooh, not a great roll. That gets the
He's getting the
reroll
extra
here.
die.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, so 3 hits.
3 hits. He's
Not
got to be
bad.
perfect because
Yeah.
he still doesn't have any damage cards. So Del Miko's ability not going to do anything here. You need 3 evades from Howlrunner, don't you?
I think so. Only
And
got the
that doesn't
one.
do it.
2. So she's dead.
That's going to go a long ways to helping.
Yep, that's going to definitely help him out. Let's see, I don't think.
Yeah, that's Howlrunner dead,
Range 3,
folks.
so runner.
Wait. Oh, it's really hard to see on there.
It is.
So that's Howlrunner. Yeah, yeah. Aiden's dead.
Oh, okay. Took out
Now
Aiden
he's trying to
instead.
kill Howlrunner.
Okay. All right. We got to
Oh.
sort it out.
Han shot Aiden because Aiden was stressed, and the title gave him the extra die.
Okay.
And Howlrunner going to spend
Sad.
focus there and survive.
Yep. Not any damage there.
Academy pilot.
Now we'll see how much he trades off for
Range 2.
poor Filip here.
Co-runner.
A lot less focuses than the last round, though, so this will not be nearly as painful as it was for Nim.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the focus or any sort of calculate. Going to use elusive. Still not getting anything. So elusive will recharge after a red maneuver
Same
if he
banana.
decides to throw in a red
Range 2.
hard 3 there.
Yes.
Sign is also stressed.
I will cancel that.
Just-
and you get one.
Sign's ability to just do the damage.
Yep. That's pretty nice. Let's get that damage. Push it right through.
Yeah, not have to screw with any defensive rolls. Just
You
roll a
don't
crit and go.
Range 3.
And now that triggers
Yep.
Gideon's ability.
And here we go. We're starting to see that Inferno synergy going on
I
here.
like it.
Yep.
Co-runner.
Yeah, get those 3 dice.
Gideon's got a focus as well.
Howlrunner reroll here.
He's going to use L337.
Okay, yep. Flipping that. It's not a bad time.
So,
I modified it, you modified it.
okay, so
Yep.
I now reroll that, and I still.
All of them. All of the attack dice. You have to reroll all of them.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's right.
There's the judge coming in,
There we
drop
go,
some
yep.
knowledge.
Not a bad reroll there.
It's quite the improvement.
Yep. Pretty effective use of L3
He's gonna
there,
get,
I'd
what,
say.
3 green dice?
I believe
Range
so,
3?
Yep, range 3.
Nice.
Got the one he needed.
Keeps his shield, so the other side of the
There we go.
L3 card is not going to be active yet. So that's when you have no shields.
Co-runner. Yeah. They are information.
They should be.
Yeah, I mean, if they were in range 1 to start, they're
Yeah.
still in range 1.
Hitting a crit there.
Yeah.
This could go through.
Yeah, we might get this crit here.
Nope.
No, we're just gonna.
Ooh, nice. He does have his bullseye arc there, so crack shot, cancel the evade, and then give a fuel leak.
Oh, okay, yep.
Fuel leak, when you suffer critical damage, you suffer an extra damage now.
Yep.
Pretty nasty. There's some there's definitely potential, more potential here even than with the Force Awakens damage deck to really combo into some brutal damage if the deck falls just perfectly.
You can pile it on, yeah, pretty quickly. Yeah, it's more than just direct hits and all of that now. There's definitely a lot of issues that come up in the damage deck that you want to deal with pretty quickly, but you have to balance it out against what other actions you want to take. Yeah, this fuel leak, I wonder how long he's going to go. He probably just wants to repair that right away.
Game restarts on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
So fuel leak.
What were they asking?
I have a quick pause there just to keep their time nice and even. All right, so this turn. You lost one of your stress ties. So Polyp's
say
going to
Polyp, yeah.
block. So you can't use your other stress tie to block Polyp because Polyp is first. So you're going to want a hard turn in.
Yeah, one of those.
This is Polyp shooting back. Dodged, though, by the
Dodged
TIE
that, yeah.
fighter. Going to hard turn that swarm to go after Han. Han's got no shields. He's still got 8 hull. Polib is down to just, I believe, 2 hull. 1 hull. 2 hull. No shields.
Now, what options do you think Polib has here in terms of, think he's going to try and get in and get that turret arc? Think
the only way that he maybe survives if he turns away, turns to the to our right, and hopes the swarm goes after Han.
I think so. Yeah.
If you go the same direction as Han, then you're just both going to get lit up. Now that does mean he's going to have to turn and then turn his arc, so he's going to not have a very fancy attack, but at least has some options.
Doesn't necessarily matter right now because Polib is not stressed, but
it's also a little bit painful to be playing a TIE Swarm and he still has 5 of 6 ships on the board after your second round, third round of shooting. Technically, the first one was pretty abbreviated.
Yeah, Howl Runner's still out there doing her thing. It only has 1 hull left though, so.
Yeah, although the fact that she has to die gives her kind of an old school Biggs effect in that she's going to soak damage until she's dead.
It's true.
Because she's so annoying. So you don't have to have a Biggs-like ability to get that kind of effect sometimes. If you run a ship that's dangerous enough or annoying enough, your opponent will do all they can to remove them from the table.
Yes. I feel like you really have to try and get Howl Runner off the table this round.
Yeah, people who are wondering what the rest of the field looks like, I saw just about every type of ship represented in lists here. There are Z95s, there are Quad Jumpers, there are Star Vipers, tons of T-65 X-Wings, there's U-Wings everywhere, TIE Bombers, Punishers, really a wider variety of ships than I've seen in a long time, which is, one of the things I'm so excited about second edition for.
Yeah, there are. Every time I look at like a new ship, I'm excited to, put a list together with that and get it on the table. Do keep coming back to those IG-88s quite a bit. Oh, we're doing some K-turning here. Not going after Han. The Polib is just doing a hard stop, recharged his elusive.
So now to the front tie, try to K-turn as well, and is that going to be a...
might be blocking it, yeah.
A bump?
This guy?
See what we got here. Looks like it is.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, that's good. He'll have no shot. He's stressed and facing the wrong direction.
Yeah, real nice call there with the Moldy Crow on that one, I'd say.
Yeah, forgetting there that the Hawk can stop now. That is a second edition change.
Yep. That Academy pilot's still going to have a shot at range 1.
And the Hawk, everybody's asking, they do not have any bombs. So no more bombs on the table, in fact, after Nim went down in that second round of shooting. So not as dangerous for these ties as you might have thought. But Polib, if that K-turn tie has him in arc, that could still be pretty painful.
Yeah, I think he does.
Kind of looked like it to me.
Polib had, what, 2? Oh, we've got it over here, right?
Should just be 1 hull remaining.
1 hull remaining, yeah. So that's going to be...
How are you guys liking that little overlay showing what we've got? Doing a pretty good job of tracking the game state for you, making it a little bit easier to follow.
It's nice. I myself need to pay a little bit more attention to it, I think. So I mean, like, oh, Polib has an amount of hull left.
If you guys are wondering who's doing the commentary, I am Matt Holland and Brian Kylan.
Kylan, thank you, yes.
Brian's one of the FFG marketing writers.
That's
so
me.
He does a lot of the X-Wing writing and playing sometimes, too.
Yes,
Can I do like
I
this?
see this stuff every day, and it's very exciting.
Okay.
What is he asking?
Not quite sure. I think
he was showing another way to get the same result in that maneuver, but it's not quite as precise, so they're going to have him mark
okay.
and just do it the normal way.
Mm-hmm.
So a hard one out of Howrunner. Although Filip's head is doing an amazing job of...
So breaking up the formation here a little bit, but that's probably not a bad thing because I don't necessarily think Polyb's going to be around that much longer. And
yes. You probably have overkill if you put any more ties on
exactly.
Polyb there. Especially if you're expecting the other one to actually pull that K-turn off.
Mm-hmm.
And you are going to get a nice shot on Han. Han not getting any mileage out of his own ability or trick shot, though, this game.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to hard one next turn.
Yep.
I don't think there's a way to block him off the board.
No.
Actually.
Well, maybe.
Actually,
yeah.
if the red tie does a hard 2, Han won't complete the turn. And the next turn, I believe, will be forced off the board.
Oh, yeah.
So
could be right.
I think that means that Jacob has to turn right unless he wants to risk going off.
Wow, yeah. You could still rotate the arc to the rear arc, though, and have a shot, but still not a great position to be in if you have a couple of pursuing TIE fighters.
Checking the 000 arc.
Stress or calculate?
No. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's checking Han's ability to use 000.
Tactics, PS5.
So swarming up, I think that was Sign?
Mm-hmm.
Sign Marana. This is Han on Howrunner. Ooh.
Not what he wanted. Use the lock to reroll everything. There we go.
That's a little bit better.
That's good.
Howrunner now needs to be perfect.
Yep.
Paint on every die.
Ooh,
no.
Real close, though.
Okay.
Second tie goes down.
Yep.
And the other tie there loses the reroll and is only at range 2.
Mm-hmm. Han did not have to use that calculate.
Range 2.
Yeah. Focus, focus. At least one of these. Oh. All right.
So Han down to just 8 hull.
Yep.
Still not a damage card on him. And I think you can expect Polyb to die.
Mm-hmm.
If 2 ties can shoot him.
Yep.
Oof.
Wow.
That doesn't help.
That's a rough roll without
And that's
that focus.
that's the academy there that might be able to shoot him. So he's not going to get a shot until after Polyb gets a chance.
It's true, yeah. Polyb could play in some damage here.
Needs to put down 1 damage.
Yep. Make things a lot more interesting for sure.
But he's going to go for the other one. I think that Jacob's thinking that the academy cannot shoot him. It's hard for me to tell from our current angle.
It's real tight, yeah. All right.
Han can't hard 1. That's a great point.
Oh, yeah. Didn't think about that. All right, so another tie down.
So Han has to hard 2. Still same situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think. He's very good. He's gonna be very close to the edge of that board.
I think he's got to go to the right, yeah. Or I guess to
if you go left, you
yeah.
can still get blocked off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've played many hundred games of First Edition. Second Edition, I am much less. I don't have all the dials memorized, so I may fall back on my First Edition stuff, in which case it may be wrong. We do have the charts here, but we'll refer to them as we have the chance.
What maneuver did this guy do?
Yeah, that
You should have a stress.
bump with program, yeah.
There you go. Good catch, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
So that ties out of the fight. Man.
And Polyb made it, huh?
Yeah, he only took the one attack, looked like. Problem, too, is Polub can go one straight. That TIE fighter cannot fly slow enough to get a shot at him. So if you want to have a chance of killing Polub, you have to turn your other TIE back in, and you can't try to stop the Falcon. I think Filip is in pretty dire straits here.
It's getting a lot more interesting now that we're getting some of these TIE fighters off the board for sure.
I don't know which TIE people are talking about going 5 straight.
Oh, could it be
The Academy? He's stressed. That wouldn't clear his stress. He couldn't barrel roll. The only one that I think can block Han is...
Yeah, it's 5 straight.
Is the red one.
Yeah, it's 5 straight. It might, actually.
I just don't see a good option for Filip. He's got 2 TIE fighters with 1 health left. And Del has 2. That's just too close to dead.
Yeah.
So he's going to try and block the Hawk if it flies through the other TIE. And then set up a shot on Han, hopefully. Although if I am Jacob, I'm perfectly happy to just bump Polub here.
Yeah.
And shoot him in the back. You're guaranteed pretty much to take no shots then.
I will try. Barrel.
Gonna try to barrel roll. Okay.
Is he trying to barrel roll to block a turn from Polub?
Go.
I don't know. Maybe.
So barrel roll is a little bit more restrictive these days than in first edition. You basically get 3 choices of where you want to end up, not the basically infinite slide it anywhere you want.
Got the Academy pilot in there. Let's see where Polub's going here. Can't quite see what the die is. Or the dial is, sorry.
We'll find out here in a second.
Getting some TIE fighter. Oh, just
he's banking through.
It's going to make it, so he didn't get blocked.
Does that give that Academy a show? It does.
It does, yep.
And Polub has no repositioning. He does have elusive recharged. He's got an action, so focus.
He will get a shot off before the Academy pilot. I don't know if...
Swarm Tactics is dead. So.
Yeah, Swarm Tactics is gone. We'll have
Interesting.
to see where everything else winds up. Just getting out of there.
Yeah, that TIE just doesn't want to take fire, or he's clearing more room for just a hard turn next turn instead of having a K turn.
Yep.
I think he's anticipating the Falcon turning to the right or left. This is the maneuver I'm curious about.
Yep.
It looks like he turned in. He did.
He did turn in.
So
Okay.
Polub's going to really be in trouble
Yep,
now.
okay. Polub might not get a shot off. Probably won't get a shot off.
Well, the Academy shoots after him.
No, you don't have to take an action.
Yeah, but...
and he's going to take no action because all he'll be doing is giving Polub a focus or an evade.
That's true, yeah.
So it's going to be an unmodified shot. Oh, you should have turned the other way, maybe? Try to block him off?
Oh, wow, okay.
Ooh, you may not even have to.
I don't think he... Oop. I can't tell. It's so close. Oh, okay. All right, one off the board, Han.
Ooh, that changes everything.
Okay.
That changes everything. That was real close.
That was real tight.
4 die.
Well, in this case, he definitely made the right move by going after Polub.
Yep. Pretty devastating round there.
You
Wow.
have card, range 1 and 2.
So no modification.
He's going to use
But
the
Polub needs
elusive,
pain on both dice, and he can re-roll the 1.
Oh, he can re-roll the 1, yep. So So, no. I think
And
does
now
have to
he's
focus.
got to survive
yep.
the academy,
Yep.
too.
So, got by that one.
That's got to be very painful, flying 74, 72 points. 72 points off the board.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty healthy. I mean, it had
Well, yeah,
Falcon had not taken much damage.
Had it taken any damage?
It lost all its shields.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
lost
no
all,
damage
it didn't have any
cards.
damage cards, yeah.
Ouch.
Oh, got rid of another TIE fighter anyway. Let's see.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. Just one
The
hit.
crit will do it if it can get through.
Oof. That's it.
Wow.
Thank you.
Filip from Poland takes it down. I mean, I gotta say, I don't think without flying off that the ties would have pulled that out.
No. Yeah, I think Han, I mean, he could have probably hunted him
Because
down.
every tie was pretty badly injured
Thank you.
and going to have some, you know,
Yeah, great.
there's only one bad roll away from
I didn't know
dying.
if I was going to fit or not.
But
That was risky.
it was a great game.
It was.
Disappointing to see it kind of end like that, but some smart maneuvering there. You know, a couple hiccups. A lot of these players are still adjusting to second edition, as are we.
Mm-hmm. We saw
Things have
some-
changed. Maybe Jacob thought he had a hard one in his pocket there, and then realized too late. Oh, or maybe he just didn't feel he had any other option.
We did see some good stuff out of the TIE Swarm here in second
Yeah,
edition.
I
Inferno
like that
Squadron.
swarm.
Yeah.
I like the kind of the synergy between the different ships and the members of Inferno Squadron. Plus, you know, Howlrunner never bad.
Yeah, Howlrunner's always good. Iden Versio, real strong, paired with Howlrunner, and then you get some damage cards on
Yep.
some people. And
Gideon and Sin start
Yep.
doing their job.
Mhm.
That was round one. Brian and I are going to be back with round two here around 11:35. So until then, take it easy. We'll be back with more X-Wing Second Edition from the Coruscant Invitational.